Hey y'all, welcome back to the Osha Cerese show. I am your host, Osha Cerese, and this is typically your midday reset. You know, this is typically your midday reset, but due to scheduling conflicts this week, I may be coming to you every night this week in the evening. Just stay tuned, turn your notifications on, subscribe to make sure that you don't miss anything that I have to offer you. I'm fresh faced today. I'm fresh out the shower. I got oil on my face. That's my skincare routine. So I'm not made up today. This is just me, oily face and all, shining. And to think, we used to hate when our parents used to have our faces greased up. And look at me now. But anywho, thank you for tuning in. This is Osha Cerese. This is the Osha Cerese show. Your resets, since we're not midday today, but this is your evening reset. And this is where healing meets headlines and where we use alchemy to transmute gossip into growth. So, this show is all about, you know, the celebrity gossip, the trending topics, whatever's going on in the news with a spin. It's culture meets coaching because I am a certified life coach and I dabble in a little bit of celebrity news every now and then. So I figured let's put the two together and let's take the gems and the things that we can get, the lessons that we can get from what's going on in the headlines and how we can apply them to our lives. So you will leave this show with some valuable tools and things that you can apply to your own life, healing, love life, all of that. So again, just to remind you all, I'm on a 7-day raw vegan and juice cleanse. Today's juice is, this is what, beets, apples, carrots, I think ginger and lemon. I made this Sunday live on another app. So cheers to health. I absolutely love me some beet juice. I'm not that much of a beet eater unless it's Ethiopian food. They know how to make the beets chef kiss. But beet juice is my favorite way to consume beets. And then look at that color too. Beautiful. I hope you all are having a healthy February. Again, this is the Osha Cerese show. Thank you for tuning in. I am live here on YouTube as well as Instagram for this week. So this show is going to be live on YouTube. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please do so now if you're watching on another platform, or if you just so happen to scroll upon this on YouTube and you're not subscribed, go ahead and click subscribe. I have some amazing content that's already on my channel and amazing content that's coming, and then you don't want to miss these live Osha Cerese shows. So make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on. YouTube.com/at Osha Cerese, OSHACERESE. And I almost forgot to let y'all know what show this is. I'm not just Osha Cerese, this is the Osha Cerese show. So we got to let you know. So thank y'all for tuning in to the show today. This is normally a midday show, like around lunchtime. But because of my schedule conflicts this week, it will be in the evening time on some days. So just turn your notifications on. But let's get right into it. Because this is Black History Month, I have been spotlighting some Black history facts. And because Valentine's Day is coming up, I have been shining light on historical Black couples. But today, I'm going to give you a little sprinkle of some Black love. But today I wanted to, oh, look at that, Black love. Today I wanted to highlight this particular figure in our Black history because the rapper Vic Mensa, he just announced that he just had a newborn baby boy, and he named his son Mansa Musa Mensa. A lot of people in the comments didn't understand why he named his son Mansa Musa. They like, they getting out of hand with these names. Oh, these millennials, these names. Not knowing the history of Mansa Musa or not hearing about him. Because again, just like I highlighted Marcus Garvey yesterday, someone who I didn't learn about in school, I don't ever remember learning about Mansa Musa either. So I wanted to sprinkle a few Mansa Musa facts on your timeline, give you a little bit of history, just so you'll know where that name comes from and what the significance of Vic Mensa naming his son Mansa Musa is. So Mansa Musa ruled the Mali Empire from 1312 to 1337, and he is regarded as the richest man in history. A black man. The richest man in history, not just of his time, not just of black culture, African descent, in history. If we were to compare what he had around that time to today's money, it would be like $400 billion. So he had them coins. So he controlled nearly half of the world's gold supply, and his famous pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 is legendary. So he traveled with 60,000 men, gold-laden camels, and gave away so much wealth in Cairo, Egypt, that it caused inflation for over a decade. Do you know how much money he was giving out gold? He go like how y'all be making it rain in the club. He was giving out gold so much so that it caused inflation in the nation of Cairo for over a decade. Like the inflation that we're dealing with now, where folks can't afford eggs and gas and rent and all this stuff. Like, just imagine somebody coming through and messing up, throwing off the whole economy because they just drop in gold bars. So that is the main significance of Mansa Musa and why he is famous. Again, he controlled the gold and salt trade across West Africa. I want to give some more facts. There was one other fact that stood out to me. That I want to make sure I mention. So he was also a major patron of education and the arts, funding the construction of the famous University of Sankore in Timbuktu, which is one of the world's first major centers of learning. So he gave back as well. He wasn't just throwing gold bars at any old body. He was investing in the good of the nation. But I also want to highlight his love life because, again, this is February, this is Black History Month, and Valentine's Day is next week. So I have been wanting to highlight Black love. There's not much information on his wife, but it does say that he was married to Queen Ainari Kunate. That's how we're going to pronounce that. And it says that it was a royal marriage in Africa that often symbolized strength, alliance, and stability. And she stood beside him as he expanded his empire and built institutions like the University of Sankore in Timbuktu, which I just mentioned. It's been a long day, y'all. It's been a long day, but we're here. I'm happy you're here. Again, if you are not subscribed to my channel, which this show will be live every day on my channel, not necessarily on Instagram after this week. It's youtube.com/@Osha Cerese. The link is in my bio. Make it easy for you to go on there and click and subscribe to my channel. So let's switch gears. Let's get on into this culture clinic because we got to talk about what we're going to talk about. I'm going to give y'all a taste of what we're going to be talking about today, and then we'll get into the culture clinic. So we're first going to be talking about Nick Cannon going viral for revealing some things to Meagan Good recently. And then we're also going to be talking about some rap beef. Some rap beef and how it's getting deeper and deeper. And we're gonna get into that. Let's just go ahead and get into it. The first topic on the docket. So recently on Let's Play Spades, Nick Cannon decided he wanted to confess to Meagan Good, or really to the audience and to the co-host and other guests, that Meagan Good was the first woman to break his heart, or the first person to break his heart. This was news to Meagan Good as well, just as much as it was news to us. She's literally sitting there looking like, what? Because she's wondering how could she be his first heartbreak when they've never been in a relationship. Come to find out, they grew up together. I ain't gonna say grew up together, but they knew each other as young children in the industry. They kind of grew into being best friends when they were younger. And I guess it was some type of award show or something that Meagan Good award ceremony or something that Meagan Good invited Nick Cannon as her date to accompany her. Not knowing, unbeknownst to her, however you say that word, he had feelings for her. She didn't know. She's thinking, we cool, we in the industry, let's go on this date together to this event. So the next time when she pops out with a boyfriend or whatever she had going on, this man's heart is broken. This has been over 30 years ago, 20 years, 25 years ago. I think they're both in their 40s at this point. They were both under 20. So yeah, 20 something years ago. And she had no idea that she was this man's first heartbreak. And this was the way that he decided to announce it. So I just wanted to bring that up because this does happen all the time in real life. People secretly have feelings for someone but never express them. This can be men or women. But then when the person moves on, they feel some type of betrayal, a little bit of animosity, resentment, or just, heartbreak. And can I don't know. Can you really be heartbroken over somebody that you've never even been in a relationship with? I guess so, according to him. And I do feel like oftentimes I hear a lot of men saying that they are still heartbroken from somebody from their teenage years, from like puppy love or one of their first relationships. They're still resentful or maybe bitter, hurt, whatever from those initial relationships or first relationship or early relationship. And a lot of them are taking it out on their current partners or people that they're dating now because of that heartbreak that they had in the 8th grade. So I just wanted to ask you all, what do you do or how have you healed from your first heartbreak? How did you heal from your first heartbreak, or are you healed from your first heartbreak? Let me think of mine. This beet juice is so good, y'all. I'm trying to think. My first heartbreak. The only heartbreak I can really think of that I would consider my first heartbreak is the man who I ended up marrying when I was still a teenager. He ended up, it was a lot of drama. I'm going to say the story for the book. It was a lot of drama that occurred that caused him to have to skip town. And I didn't hear from him for months. So I wish I could show y'all. I have my senior picture over there, but I'll show you maybe if I do a highlight of this, maybe I'll insert the picture. So during this time, I was a senior in high school. When I tell you I had lost so much weight, so my senior pictures, my head is probably this size, but I was so skinny and I was so sad because like I wasn't eating. I was really sad because I really felt like I was in love with him. And the fact that he just had to leave and I didn't hear from him, it was just the worst feeling ever. But I definitely did heal from it. But then, some time had passed and we had our breakups or whatever. But I healed from that before we ended up getting back together. Um, I don't know how I would feel if we never got back together or if nothing ever came of that. But I guess I do because I didn't know that we would get back together, and I was fine after a while. I just decided to pull up. Here's a senior picture if y'all can see it. So I was slim when I was in high school, but like during this time I was extra slim because I had lost some weight because I was sad. And you can see the sadness in my eyes. Like, I don't know if y'all could tell. I could tell. I look sad. Whole little tink tink. Worried about the wrong thing. Girl, get your lesson. Um, but yeah, I can definitely say that I have heartbreak captured on film for one of my first little heartbreaks. Um, yeah. So if y'all are watching live or looking on YouTube or Instagram and you remember your first heartbreak, how did you heal from that first heartbreak, or did you heal from it? Is that something that you still hold resentment, bitterness, or sadness about? Puppy love. Can't nobody tell us nothing about these loves when we're in the relationship. Can't nobody tell you nothing, honey. But I will say that I've met plenty of men who are still hurting from their first heartbreak. Women, if you're out there and you're still hurting from your first heartbreak, do tell. Do tell. If you're live, you can put it in the comments. And if you're watching it back, put it in the comments and we'll talk about it. And if you do need help healing from whether it's your first heartbreak or your most recent heartbreak, again, I'm a life coach, and that is actually one of my top services. I support people on their journey of healing, self-love, and self-discovery after heartbreak, after toxic relationships, abusive relationships, divorce. That is one of my major services. I also have a program called One Single Step at a Time that you can enroll in. And this program is an intensive 6-week program that includes coaching as well. And it is to unpack all of these things that you keep dragging on from one relationship to the next. Unpack it, lighten your load, heal, get to know yourself, hold the mirror up and allow me to hold it up to you, and discover yourself, figure out who you are, what you actually want. And then towards the end of the program, then we talk about what you're trying to manifest into your life as far as love or whatever you're looking to manifest, what that looks like, and how to align with that. So that is always an option. If you want one-on-one coaching or you want to enroll in a program, you can always go to my website, oshacerese.com. That's OSHACERESE. If you're not ready for a program, you can always get the guided journal, How to Beat Single. That's something that you could do on your own time, self-paced, and it has a lot of the gems that you need to heal from heartbreak. So cheers to love and healing. Let's get into this next topic. So, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but Rick Ross and 50 Cent been beefing for years. I was still looking like the picture I just showed y'all when they started beefing. So I guess this all started back in 2008 when Rick Ross claimed that 50 Cent looked at him the wrong way at the BET Awards. So I was 2 years out of high school when this happened. I'm a grown ass 36 now. So I didn't even realize this beef had been that long. I remember back in the day them beefing, but I didn't know it had been that long. 50 being 50 responded by releasing Officer Ricky, clowning Ricky Rose, not the real Rick Ross, whose book I have over there, signed Freeway Ricky. I'm talking about Rick Ross, Ricky Rose, what is it? Maybach Music, Rick Ross. He was clowning him for allegedly being a corrections officer. So Rick Ross fired back with mafia music, throwing shots at 50, and the beef escalated from musical to personal attacks. 50 went deep, interviewing Rick Ross's baby mama, exposing personal details, and even buying her gifts just to be petty. Y'all seen it just going back and forth on Instagram and on social media. They've been petty. They've been not dealing with each other. So it never really ended. And now they're making the headlines because we all know that 50 Cent is one of the showrunners, producers, producers of a lot of hit shows on Stars. I'm a Power fan. I'm a part of the Power universe. I done seen Power, Ghost 2. What's the other one? Raising Canaan and Force with Tommy. I've watched all of them. And then, of course, they have BMF. BMF is loosely based on the life and the uprise and downfall of BMF with Big Meech and his brother. Dang, I can't even think of his brother's name right now. What's his brother's name? I know the dude that plays him, Da Vinci, but I cannot think of. I know it's Terry T. That's what it is. So that's what BMF is based off of. And 50 Cent has pretty much taken on. Big Meech been locked up, or was locked up for years, over 2 decades, for his involvement with BMF, drug trafficking, whatever all his charges were. During the past few years, 50 Cent has pretty much taken on Little Meech, Big Meech's son, as his mentee. He sent him to acting school, took him under his wing, invested in him so he could play his father, Big Meech, in the series BMF. So, you know, clearly he's putting money into his hands, Big Meech's hands, because this is his son. I'm sure he's putting money on his books or saving the money or whatever they're doing. And then Terry Flannery, which is T, Big Meech's brother, I believe he was added on as a producer or something like that, and his son maybe a writer. I don't know. They all got their hands in it. Like 50 Cent looking out for the whole family to put money in their pockets. I don't know all the details, y'all. Look it up. But just know that 50 Cent been putting money in their hands and really taking care of and taking a liking to Lil Meech. So anywho, Big Meech just got out of prison late last year after all this time. So we're all thinking like, okay, now that he's out, he's probably going to have his hands into the BMF series, and, he's going to be looking out for 50 Cent, for looking out for him. They're going to be close. They're going to make appearances together. Who knows? We're just, thinking that. And let me just preference this whole conversation by saying I am not into street politics like that. I don't know how street politics work per se. I'm just a civilian. So anything that I say, if I'm off, please correct me. Don't take it offensive. Don't take offense to it. Do not come for me. I'm not a street politician, but I'm just reporting the news, and we're going to talk about the subject attached to this news. So this conversation just pretty much brings up loyalty versus respect for me. So recently, Big Meech took a picture and a video with Rick Ross. Again, Rick Ross and 50 Cent been beefing since 2008. Rick Ross had a song called I Think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover, I don't know what the name of the song is. Maybe it's Big Meech. So when BMF came out, people were kind of asking like, oh, will 50 Cent consider putting that song on on the soundtrack or on an episode or whatever? And I think he said something to the effects of if Rick Ross apologized to him, that he would consider it, something like that. But anywho, it didn't happen. They still been beefing. But Big Meech recently took a picture and a video with Rick Ross, and they are promoting a welcome home concert that Rick Ross is putting on for Big Meech. So when I saw that, I'm like, ooh, I didn't know what to think of it, because I know that they are beefing, but hey, maybe they just mind their own business. I don't know. So yesterday, I believe it was, 50 Cent put a post up of a rat and a caption that said, I think I'm Big Meech. And it says some information in the caption about somebody that may have accused him of being a snitch or a rat. Again, I'm not into the street politics. This conversation is not really about whether or not Big Meech is a rat or any of that. I don't know. Not into it. Ain't trying to investigate it. Y'all look up his paperwork. That ain't got nothing to do with me or this conversation. The conversation is mainly about, do you all think Big Meech should distance himself from Rick Ross, or should have never even connected with him out of loyalty to 50 Cent? Or should he be able to move freely and align with whoever he chooses? And this conversation comes up a lot. Like, people ask the question, loyalty or respect? And I always choose respect. That's just me. I know a lot of people choose loyalty over respect, loyalty over love, loyalty, 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 in the words of Kendrick. Um, and I get that. We do want people to be loyal to us and all of that. I get all that. But for me, I would rather people be loyal to themselves. And what I mean by that is be loyal to your own principles, moral standards, and core values, and stand on that. And hopefully your loyalty does lie with me because I align with those values, standards, goals, whatever you have for yourself. I I wouldn't want somebody to blindly be loyal to me if I no longer align with their values, morals, and principles or standards. I would prefer that they respectfully choose something else if it no longer aligns or something that I represent doesn't align with that. I would much rather be respected and have a mutual respect and understanding of why. Now, I'm not saying I don't feel like the opposite of loyalty is betrayal. Like, I'm not saying betray me because I don't align with your morals and principles. But if you have to respectfully choose to connect with or align with somebody that I don't like or I don't deal with, then I that's your decision to make. So as long as you respect me, you're not disrespecting me, you're not putting smut on my name, as they say, you're not, crossing me in any type of way. You're just, as they say, dealing with the ops. I ain't got no ops, but you a grown person. Do what you got to do. But y'all let me know what y'all choosing. Loyalty over respect or respect over loyalty. If you're watching live, go ahead and put it in the chat. If you're watching the playback, go ahead and comment and let me know. I'm sorry for this gulping, y'all, but this is so good. Y'all got to start juicing. I have to start being more consistent with the juicing because it is delicious. Delish. So again, just to recap what we talked about so far today, because this is going to be a shorter show today. Again, this show is normally a daily midday reset around lunchtime. It's live. So this week, due to scheduling conflicts, it will be later in the evening sometimes. You just have to subscribe, turn on your notifications to make sure you're here. But I want to make sure that I recap what we've talked about so far. And then I will wrap it up. Hold on one second. Okay, so today we talked, our Black History Spotlight was Mansa Musa. We talked about why the significance of his name is important because Vic Mensa, the rapper, just named his son Mansa Musa Mensa. That's a tongue twister. Let me see if I can say it 5 times fast. Mansa Musa Mensa. Nope, can't even say it twice. That baby gonna have to learn his name and keep on correcting people until they get it right. But Vic Mensa just named his baby Mansa Musa, and a lot of people in the comments had no idea who that was. They thought he was tripping for the name. So I wanted to sprinkle that Black history fact on y'all. And I also talked about Nick Cannon revealing to Meagan Good that she is his first heartbreak. And she was confused because they've never been together. So I wanted to talk about how people have still been lingering on with this heartbreak from their first puppy love experience or one of their first relationships or secret crushes that, someone never even knew that they had. And let me ask you this, because a lot of people have secret crushes now as grown as people. So does your crush know that you're crushing? Does your crush know that you're interested? If not, are you willing to shoot your shot? Because Valentine's Day is, what's it in? Valentine's Day is in 10 days. So who knows, if you let your crush know that you're crushing, you might have you a little Valentine's Day this year. A little Valentine. Ask your crush to be your Valentine's. Is it Valentine's or Valentine? Yeah, your Valentine. Ask your crush to be your Valentine and see how it goes and come back and let me know how it went. But yes, we talked about that, and we then talked about the beef between 50 Cent and Rick Ross and how, Big Meech, I guess he done picked a side. I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think? And then does this mean we don't get any more BMF? Because I want to know what happens between their parents. I want to know what happens when, they then went to Atlanta with it. Like, that's when the good part starts happening. When he came to Atlanta, like, we need another season or two. So I don't know how this is gonna go, y'all. And answer me this: do you feel like business should keep going even though they have personal beef? Like, should 50 Cent not take this out on Little Meech? Because also, before I wrap up, I remember seeing something that Terry said about 50 Cent too, not too long ago. So it seemed like they were beefing. So I'm like, what's really going on internally for them to blow this whole opportunity to continue getting their story told on a major platform like Stars? So I don't know what's going on, y'all. I have no idea, but we will see how it unfolds because, Stars, if they sign the show for another season, then they gonna want another season. I don't know if they started filming yet, but it seems like it's getting a little messy. So we'll see that. And I want to know, do you all choose loyalty or respect, and why? And give me an example of when this would apply to you in your life and how you would want a person to react. Again, I'm Osha Cerese. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a dream doula, helping you birth your dream life and your ideas, bringing them to life. And I'm also an event curator. Please stay tuned for events locally in Atlanta for singles mixers, speed dating events. And if you are intentional about finding love, you need to be involved with the Intentional Love Collective. This is a community that I am growing currently. I'm building a database because I don't want y'all to just come to my events and just not be satisfied with who's there, because I've been to speed dating events, or I've seen them happen, where you walk in and you're like, this the selections. And I don't want that for y'all, not at my events. So when you add your information on the Intentional Love database, the Intentional Love Collective database, this will allow me to be more intentional with the way I curate my events. So if you have your information and I see that it aligns with other people that have submitted information onto the database, then I can be like, okay, I'm going to invite these people because they have the most common interests. They seem like they would be attracted to each other. They're each other's type. You need to be on the Intentional Love Collective database. And if you are interested, if you are seeking love in 2025, you're intentional about dating, you're a hopeful romantic. Notice I didn't say hopeless romantic, hopeful romantic. And you tired of swiping and you want to get into some in-person dating experiences, type Intentional Love in the comments or DM me privately and I will send you the form to complete. Again, you always have the option of booking one-on-one coaching for me if you need support with your healing journey, self-love, self-discovery, or if you need support with your content, if you need a content strategy, if you have ideas and you don't know how to birth them into life, if you need help just having someone to tell you how to utilize and monetize your gifts. Let's have a strategy session. Strategy session, another tongue twister. A strategy session with me will change your life. I have taken someone from having few followers to having thousands of followers. Don't look at my page looking for it because I'm the behind the scenes person. I might not always be the person that is is up front in front of the camera with it. So you might not always see what I do for other people reflected into my personal pages. But trust me, the content strategies are gold. You see the thumbs up. Everybody that I have made a content strategy for, they feel relieved. because they don't have to be overwhelmed with what they want to do and how they want to show up. People that have had strategy sessions with me and they have clarity and confidence in what they are doing. And, we got to get these ideas out. It's time to birth these ideas and put legs on them in 2025. And that's why I'm your dream doula, because I'm going to help you strategize that and support you in birthing those ideas. So you can always do a coaching session with me for those reasons. You can get your journal if you feel like you're not ready for a program. Again, I already told you about one single step at a time program for healing. There's another option, 5 ways in 5 days. I always suggest this one right around Valentine's Day because it's a self-love program. It teaches you how to incorporate the love languages into your daily acts of self-love and self-care. And not only that, it shows you how to do some work to uncover and reveal some blockages that you may have when it comes to giving and receiving love. So not only does it teach you ways to pour into yourself, it teaches you why you might not receive it from other people that well, or why you have trouble giving certain love languages or signs of affections to other people. So it's a great program, especially around this time when Love Day is on the way. And if you didn't tune in to, I think it was episode 2. Was it episode 2? Episode 2 of the Osha Cerese show. My fun fact for Black History was that we have a Black Love Day that I had no idea about. So Black Love Day is February 13th, and I think I'm going to celebrate it this year. Look it up or go back and watch the show for more fun facts about Black Love Day. Again, you got the journal you can get, the programs you can enroll in, the one-on-one coaching. Did I say that already? No. Journal, coaching programs, one-on-one coaching. Definitely, if you would like to be added into the Intentional Love Collective, type Intentional Love and let me know and let me add you on this, because 2025, we finding somebody to be with, okay? This single shit is for the bird. So let y'all have some journaling assignments based on today's topics. I wrote down a few, but I don't know if I want to give you all of these. So based on the hot topic about Nick Cannon and Meagan Good, think about a time when you had feelings for someone but never expressed them. How did it impact you emotionally? In other words, are you still holding on to the disappointment or fear or sadness or whatever, resentment, animosity for unexpressed feelings that you have for someone? And are they still available for you to express them now? Another one I want to give you today is, which I've already said, do you value loyalty more than respect? Why or why not? So if you want to comment that after you've journaled about it to really unpack what your real opinion is about that, loyalty or respect, and why. If you're in the comments and you already have your answer, go ahead and add it in the chat. Loyalty or respect, and why. But I definitely want to invite you to journal about it, because you never know what may come up. You may have thought that you value respect over loyalty, and when you write it down, turns out you rather have loyalty, or vice versa. So go ahead and use that as one of your journaling prompts. And let me leave you with one more for the evening. What are 3 things you need to heal from before stepping into your next romantic relationship? What are 3 things you need to heal from before stepping into your next romantic relationship? All right. So I think that is good for this evening. We're going to end it about 20 minutes earlier because I got to eat. We on the raw cleanse. I haven't had dinner yet and I got to prepare it. I'm thinking I'm going to make some collard green wraps. We'll see how it goes. Sweet Tea Inspiration says respect because it holds up longer than loyalty. And respect is my choice as well. So I feel you. But thank you all for tuning in. For those who tuned in live, if you're watching the playback, thank you for taking the time to watch the Osha Cerese show. This is my new show. It is going to be live on YouTube So if you're on another platform watching this, make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe and turn your notifications on. youtube.com/at Osha Cerese. Thank you again for tuning in. I appreciate you all. And I hope you all have an amazing evening. Make sure you are following me on Instagram as well so that I can keep you updated on things like this fast, this cleanse that I'm doing. I'll probably put up a reel or something once I complete it. And just to keep up with all my updates, better yet, go to oshacerese.com and subscribe to my newsletters so that you can get updated information. Once those newsletters start going out, you'll be the first person to know anything that's going on, local events that I'm going to be hosting. You'll have the inside scoop to what's going on with the Intentional Love Collective, and you'll get the promotional discounts and all of that before anybody else, or you might be the only one getting them because I don't really do a lot of discounts outside of that. So anyway, good night, y'all. I'm rambling. I'm about to go cook, or not cook, prepare a meal for this raw cleanse. And I hope y'all are having a wonderful Tuesday evening, and good night.